All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome to Culture Shift with Raven50mm, where we are reimagining radio and podcasting by merging the two together for immaculate vibes while leveraging blockchain and Web3 tools to experiment with monetization and distribution methods. Today is an extremely special day, honestly, for a few reasons. I mean, number one, we have a special guest, the first special guest joining us today on Culture Shift. We have TayoDamnShoes with us today.
Hi.
And second is a special day because Beyonce dropped new music. So there's
She
that.
did.
You didn't
Shout out to
know?
that. I know I did. The
Oh,
country thing. Yeah,
oh,
I
okay,
heard it
okay.
was so good.
I was okay. My bad.
I'm here for it. I'm here for this new era for
Yo,
sure.
same. I knew something was up when she was showing up with that
With the
with the yeah, with that little situation in the hat, the cowgirl hats and stuff. Yeah, I was like, oh, she finna cook.
it's a good thing for Texas girls. So
My family's from Texas. Yeah, hook 'em horns, baby. Before we get into the nitty gritty, though, I do have to take a moment to shout out our sponsors. Culture Shift is brought to you by the Legacy Portrait Project and the 50mm Collective. The 50mm Collective is a community of BIPOC, trans, and queer digital artists and allies that work together as we pioneer Web3 and NFTs. The 50mm Collective has a YouTube channel, which we are streaming live to you right now, with tutorials and helpful info on how to get a crypto wallet set up, how to get started in NFTs, and how to start archiving your work on the blockchain. And as for the Legacy Portrait Project, that is a mission-based endeavor aimed at empowering BIPOC, trans, and queer individuals. In a world often marked by adversity, the Legacy Portrait Project strives to create a haven for storytelling, utilizing visionary tools like future framing, visualization, and AR technology to uplift marginalized voices. Legacy portraits are still photographs that come to life with video narration, sharing the subject's story from their perspective. The Legacy Portrait Project's mission goes beyond capturing moments in time. It's about fostering human connection, advancing social change, driving socioeconomic empowerment, and ensuring the legacy of each subject is forever memorialized on the blockchain. Right now, the Legacy Portrait Project is running a raffle for 3 people to win $1,000 off their first Legacy Portrait. So definitely make sure you go sign up for that. We
tap
will,
in.
yep, tap in. We will be choosing the winners once we hit once we hit 100 people who have signed up, and you can sign up on legacyportraitproject.com/contact. Okay, now let's get into this incredible conversation with this super dope person. TayoDamnShoes is a Web3 pioneer creating art that combines the diaspora using art, fashion, and tech. She loves to experiment with Web3, create artful sculptures, and beautiful wearables. If you're watching on the live stream via YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or LinkedIn, we are also live on LinkedIn. Hey, what's good, LinkedIn fam? You can see,
Hey.
hey, what's good? You can see Tayo's artwork being featured here on the live stream, which is an exciting thing. But yo, what's good, Tayo? How are you? How you living? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm chilling. Just got here to the West Coast. It's a vibe. Trying to navigate the art world again. But yeah, I'm feeling good. How about you?
I'm living the dream, honestly. Like this is like so crazy that we're sitting here doing this live stream. You're on the West Coast. I'm in the Midwest. And when we originally met, where were you based? Remind me
I
again.
was in Texas and you were in LA.
That's
Yeah, so
right.
now we're switched. Yeah.
Yo, seriously, actually though. But yeah, Tayo, I would love for you to introduce yourself. Who is Tayo Damn Shoes, the person, at the personal level, and then we'll get into we'll evolve into the artistry from there.
Okay, Tayo, on a personal level, I'd say that I am a pretty creative person. Is it left brain? The one that does all the art stuff? That's me. I honestly just want to like create art and just chill. That's like my motto, like for life. I'm like, I just want to create art and chill. I love beauty. I'm also in the beauty industry, so I love I'll always see the beauty in people. So combine that with art. So I love doing cosmetics, hair, just like the whole general idea of the beauty industry. As a person, I think I'm like really chill. I'm funny once you get to know me. I'm God fearing. Like I just want to be good. That's it. I'm always like trying to just be a good person and just make art. You know, create the best thing I can and influence as many people as I can in a positive way.
I love that. What are some of your artistic influences, and like where do you find the most inspiration for your artwork?
For me, it'd probably be Black people, and I say this all the time. So it's not really like other artists. Like some other artists, like let's say like Murakami, of course, in like the success level, and cause and the collectibles and things like that. But as far as like what inspires me to draw, it would be Black people. Just the way we so uniquely made. I love how our eyes are set, how our lips are like some of them are soft, some of them are big. I love the fact that we have different hairstyles all the time. We're all shaped differently. We're so creative. And I feel like people just don't really realize that we're like if you walk around you see a girl with like pink zebra hair and it's like you're so used to it but you don't really think about like she really got pink hair, like you know what I mean. And I just love that. I feel like we're walking art, and I get my inspiration from Black people.
I love that. And you can definitely see that within your artwork. Like I've been fortunate to see kind of, well, a small glimpse, but like kind of like an overall evolution of when you started with the e-babes and now you've transitioned, not even transitioned, but I feel like they're evolving. And that's what you said from jump too,
Hmm.
which was super. It's like cool to see everything coming to fruition, because from
I
jump
did
you're like,
say
these are
that.
eBays, they finna evolve and like they keep on growing. And I'm super honored that we at the 50 millimeter collective, we have archived, um, we have some eBabes archived in our vault of impactful artists in the space. So that is super super dope. But in terms of, you had mentioned, well, and then I see your sculpture pops up here. You're multidisciplinary, and so you how do what time, like in what moments are you drawn to like creating new hairstyles versus illustrating new characters versus um, creating sculptures? Like, are there certain times where you're drawn to where you're drawn to creating in certain kinds of ways?
Yeah, I'd say it just depends on like where I am in life. Cause whenever I paint, I really just need to like calm down. Like I feel like painting is such a tedious, like you really have to sit down and just like meditate through painting. So whenever I'm painting, I feel like that's when I really need to like meditate. Digital is really fun. Digital is honestly like my go-to. And then with hair, that's my day job. Like I do hair for like I'm a hairstylist. Transition into tech more, but I want to in the future definitely want to like experiment more with tech. But digital is usually my go-to. I have my iPad with me at all times, like drawing something. So there's a lot of art involved that has not been seen, probably won't be seen. So yeah, the wood cutouts, like the paintings and stuff. I feel like I just want to like have my art be represented as not just art, but also like something like useful. Like it's an art piece in the home, but it's also a sculpture. Like something very eye catching. And when I first started, I wanted it to be physical, digital, fashion. So it all kind of goes together as one. So it's just artists just want to see themselves in every single medium. As much medium as I can be.
I love that. Speaking of digital art and getting some more focus into the tech side of things, what is your can you share with us your origin story of how you got started into NFTs and Web3, and like what kind of led you down this rabbit hole that now we're all just like falling down and continuing to learn within? But how did you get started here?
That's such a good question. Okay, so I was in my room, it was like my depression room. So I was in my depression room, just chilling, and whatchamacallit. My sister gifted me an iPad, right? And I was like, I've always known how to draw, so I was like, let me just, start drawing. So I hopped on Clubhouse for cover art. So I wanted to like learn how to draw art for rappers and stuff. And then I found the NFT space at the earliest of the earliest stages before they had the black spaces.
What
You know,
what year? Like, can you give us a? Do you remember like the year and like
it was
maybe?
it was November end of 2020,
Okay, word.
hopping into 2021. It was right before, right? So then I just kind of like got into it, and I was started. And the thing is, like when I was talking on Clubhouse, it was I'm like I'm very good at multitasking, right? So I'm talking while I'm talking, while I'm drawing, you know. So it really helped me. Like I'm talking to black people, I'm drawing black people at the same time. So that was how I started getting into it, getting into it, getting into it. And then I met like really cool people. Like I met my developer and my biggest collector, David, on there. And then we started, creating even more intricate, more tech based art collections that's like a little bit more advanced, a little bit more. It takes maybe like 8 months or so to finish this work. So it started getting more serious. And I really love that side of things too. So I feel like that was the part that really got me into the tech side of things because now it's like not just art, it's like art combined with tech, you know? So yeah, that's how I started with that. That was amazing, honestly. The connections that I got from those early days, like you're one of the collections. I mean, the connections from there. So yeah, that was an amazing time period, honestly.
I agree. Those early Clubhouse days in November 2020. Yeah, that's so. I feel like I had gotten into down the rabbit hole December 2020. So like,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
I followed you down the rabbit hole essentially. But so I'm just trying to think of like, so for me during that time, I was looking for other ways to earn income, and that's like what led me into those clubhouse rooms. And was that the same? Was it like a similar thing for you, or were you really were you looking for like folks to connect with and to expand your artistry?
I was mainly like I was honestly new to the art world.
Mm-hmm.
So to me I was just expanding and it just happened to just be there. When I tell you I didn't start drawing until I got into those rooms, like because before I was just sketching and it was just like a little tiny hobby, you know? And then as soon as I was like in there, I was like, okay, and I drew the most I've ever done before and it just became addicting. It was like became easy for me to like improve on myself. So yeah, I just happened to like, I wasn't like, I wasn't pressured at the time. So I think that's also a good thing to not be in a space where it's like you need to like make something because afterwards, after time came and it became my source of income, it became like that and it was not good. It was not good.
Mm.
But when I met my first 1K from art, I promise you, I cleaned up my room so quickly. I was like, okay, we on this now. Like, this is serious, you know? Like,
I
yeah.
do know,
But
yeah.
I was like, okay, let's get this going. But yeah, it was cool. It wasn't a pressure thing. It just fell right there. Right time. Right.
So that was November 2020. We are now it's now February 2024. And
Wow,
I
4 years.
know, right? And I'm curious on if you could speak to how being involved in Web3 and in NFTs, how that has changed maybe your perspective on some things, and if you could kind of speak to what those things are and how your perspective have changed, and just how being in this space has affected your artist career.
How being in the space has changed or affected my arts career. Okay, it has been a lot of ups and downs. I'm not gonna lie. It made me really. It got me really thinking exactly what I wanted to do with my life and how do I want to like tie art into it or do I want art to be my main source of income or you know what I mean? It got me to thinking how exactly am I gonna make this work? And it's not even Web3 because honestly, Web3 as a whole is a concept and before it used to be life, you know. But to me now it's just a tool, to be honest. Like it's a tool to add on to my art. And working with different developers like David, like Cyprian, like my front end, like both of them, working with them taught me so much. And now it's more like I just want to make my art and just shut up. Like I don't even like honestly because the at first, when we first began, the closeness and having that community was more raw. It was easier to do, right? Because you was one on one. Now it's just a lot of people, you know. So now it's just honestly make the art and go. That's where I'm at right now, and it's really shifted my views on just not thinking too much about it. Just honestly, just creating. Like, I hope I answered that question right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, most there's no wrong way. This is like your perspective, and I'm just curious. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. I think what gets me personally excited about this space is the opportunities to innovate and like how you were talking about. It's not just the art now; it's the art plus the tech, which kind of evolves the art, right? Like we're
Hmm.
thinking on different levels, almost like how can I say it?
Yeah, it's more how can I combine the art and tech for me now? You
Mm,
know, that's how I see it. You know, and that's what gets me excited because drawing is cool. I can do that. But it's like once that when I if I create something that's like highly like a little bit more complicated and that thing is finished, I'm like, wow, I really just made a whole collectible like on a new blockchain.
do you feel that?
Like
Oh, I'm
what?
sorry. Do you feel that Web3 kind of levels the playing field in terms of independent artists being able to monetize and distribute and find more opportunities essentially to make our art more well known and more to get it out there.
Okay, in the beginning of this, I would have said yes, but now I would say no. To be honest.
Mm.
Okay, at the beginning, I'll say yes because it was new. Everybody was like, people were really like down to support the NFTs. It was really new. Okay, the community was there. Now I would say it's not just about minting something on the blockchain and hoping somebody catches it. You need that connections. You need those network. You need to like. I feel like now it's like you need to make something outside of NFTs for people to collect your NFTs. Before it was like, oh, NFTs, but like I really do because there's so many artists now and so many new collectors that it's like I feel like you it kind of went back as you need to have a little bit of a name out there, your name to be a little bit up there. This is just me being honest.
Yeah, yeah. Please.
And
That's
yeah, like just be like if we're being honest for real. I feel like you do need those connections, you do need those networks, and also you need collectors that are patient enough to want to. Because now I don't know. Like I feel like NFTs have had such a bad rep, and now it's like people aren't really. They're not patient enough to like get that whole process in. They're just like if somebody just met you on the street and you're like, "Oh, I'm an artist. I sell my art as an NFT." Like they gotta be patient enough to like get that crypto wallet, do all this, do all that, right? But let's
mm-hmm.
say I'm an artist. I have physical stuff already out, but I also have NFTs, right? So it's like I have your physical stuff, but I want to actually invest in my future as a collector and get your NFT too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I feel like it's turning into, which is it's very smart, but it also is like it's just what it is right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a different time
Hmm.
from when the early or like 2021 when things really started getting cracking. And I would agree with what you said about it's both now. I feel like we've shifted from NFTs and crypto art being like the sole focus to where you do have to have it's like that and this, and it's like
Hmm.
more of like another tool essentially. It's not just like the end all be all kind of thing. It is
Yeah.
like we can add this tool to our arsenal and pull it out when we need it. And yeah, I agree. I feel like we've shifted from just like the hype cycle of it all to more
Hmm.
implementation on how we can evolve our artistry with this technology. Yeah. Um, Another question I have for you is: do you talk to like your personal friends and like your family about like Web3 and NFTs and crypto? Like, do they know? Do they get it? Like, do they know like what you've been up to? Can you speak a little bit?
My mom is the one that probably the most because she was just like she loves the eBays. My brothers and my sister, they kind of like they just their eyes glaze over when I started talking about it. And I'm just like, okay, never mind, you know. So they, it's like they kind of understand it, but they really don't, you know. They honestly, it's like, you know, sibling thing. They don't understand it, but it's cool, man. You know, it's like results over, you know, talking. You know, kind of
Mm.
like that. When I make a meal,
Yeah.
you know, like
Right. Start asking some questions a little bit, get a little curious.
yeah, yeah. But right now they art stuff, you know.
Are any of
So,
your siblings creative and artistic?
yeah,
Do they?
both of them are. Both of them are. My brother does music. My sister is a photographer. Yeah, I
Boom.
have suggested. I have suggested.
It's okay.
You know,
In
it is what it
time.
is. Yeah,
In
in
time.
time.
What were some of the challenges being an artist in like when you were merging when you started to play around with the tech and things like that? What were some of those challenges early on that you had to face and figure out and go through to get to where you are now?
Ooh, surviving during those times, that was the biggest one. Months. Like I'm thinking, maybe being patient. That was what it was. Okay, because I'll say something. I'll be like, hey, can you like do this relatively high tech stuff? It's easy. Like you can get it done in like 2 weeks. They're like, no, it'll take like 6 months. I'm like, it'll take 6 months to do. And you know, I'm like a really fast drawer too. Like I can draw really fast, right? So to me, it's like it has to do with me being patient a lot. Being patient, having an outside source of income while I was like creating this project was a big thing too. And but it was so fun. It was so fun, you know. But yeah, just being patient was my biggest hurdle during all of this time because it's like I just wanted it out, you know. I just
Yeah.
wanted it already out, and I wanted to like start doing the drop. And it even whenever I did drop one of my, I jumped the gun and I dropped it too early, you know. So it was just like being patient was the biggest thing. I'm not. I've been working on it. I get a little impatient sometimes, but I've been working on it. So yeah.
That's fair, and that totally makes sense. What are well, you have the e-babes, and I've seen that you've been putting some of your artwork on clothing, which is super
Hmm.
dope. Can you speak a little bit about that and how that came about and what inspired that?
Okay, so I started out after shortly after making Eco. Eco is the 5,555 randomized collection on Solana. So one of the goals, I know there's a word for it, but one of the goals for the project was to have it on clothing and have AR, VR clothing, you know. And so I started to figure out ways, and also people have told me in the past about clothing. So I've been doing that for a minute actually, the clothing thing. Like I first started by screen printing and it's funny because most people don't even know that I do it. It's so funny. That's like been my main source of medium. But now being in the West Coast, I'm definitely going to like even tap into it even more because it's like they're right here. Like the fashion district and all that stuff is here. But honestly, I love it. I love seeing my art on clothes because it has not looked ugly once. And this is me being like humble about it. Ugly once. So so I'm really excited about it. I want to like really get into more intricate designs and just taking my time more with the designs. And you know, yeah, I like t-shirts, but I want to make like a little dress, you know, like little purses and stuff. So I'm really excited about that because I did say the eBiz are going to evolve, and they're evolving on clothes, they're evolving on furniture or something, you know. So I'm really excited about that, and that's also another thing. When I told you that it's a way for collectors to have an in on your NFTs. Like, you know, have it like if you see somebody wearing my clothes and stuff, you know, they'll be like, who's the artist? Boom. They happen to have an NFT, you know? So it's like a way to, because, you know, if you're not even in the NFT space, it's kind of hard for you to know who's dropping, what's dropping, when it's dropping, you know, who's what. But having that physical, because people do love the physical, even though they say they don't, they love the physical, you know? So having that physical wear is a really good way to like just showcase my art. Yeah. And I like fashion. That
Yeah, and
too.
you have great style, so it totally makes sense to like merge the two together, and I love it. Like the way the just how placement is a big thing for me when it comes to clothing and just like how things look, and I love how yeah, when I was looking through the collection, I'm like, wow, Tayo is on another level. Like you are like the embodiment of multidisciplinary creator, because it's just like across the board. You got
Thank
it locked.
you.
Pretty
We're
awesome.
working on my marketing right now.
Yo, can you speak a little bit too on being like the one-stop shop for your own artwork and for what you're building? Like how are you able to, what are some tips and techniques that you've tapped into to help navigate and to also juggle, doing the marketing yourself and also creating and just having to wear all the different hats?
Not gonna lie, I'm awful at it. If I'm being honest, you might not think so, but I am because it's just like I'm an artist, not really a marketer. So I'm usually good at like drawing and creating and making sure the end result looks good. But I definitely do think that um, this is advice that I'm gonna take for myself in the future. Probably having somebody that like takes care of the marketing side of things because there is a lot that happens in my life that I do have to juggle. I got school, salon, and art. So trying to make sure that I still focus on that is very, very. It's not hard, but it's like a caution. Like I have to be cautiously like aware of it, especially when it's like this is me being real, okay? Because art is not a lucrative industry at the beginning, okay? Especially when things are getting tough, like in the art industry, right? It's like I have to like not forget that it's going to work out. So I still have to keep making stuff. So I still got because I want people to have something there whenever it does happen. So I still have to keep making stuff. So being cautious to like not let the day by day overshadow the art is very important for me. And I'm really like trying to like do that, especially right now, because I just have a lot of things going on. So I don't even know if I'm like the person to talk to about that, because I'm really trying, but I think it's gonna work out.
It's most definitely going to work out, first and foremost, and you're doing a great job at it. I think it's really
Thank
easy for us as creatives because we are like so about our craft and we know like what we pour into our craft and we see that finished product and we're like, that's it. So then when we
you.
shift gears to like the business and marketing side of things, where it doesn't feel as natural and as comfortable, it's easy to be hard on ourselves. So you're doing a great job. Like you're most
Oh,
definitely.
tidbit. I'm going to school for business just for this.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like
Like,
you're on
yeah,
top. You're super on top of it. So yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. A little bit more grace for yourself there, Tayo, because
okay.
you are killing it. And yeah, seriously, it's yeah, you're doing a great job. This has been a
How's the
really
interview going?
I was just about to say, yo, this has been fire. I was literally
That's
about to
good.
say that. We've been going now for 35 minutes. I was gonna start reeling it in a little bit here, but I wanted to ask you, like, we got the E-Babes, we got Echo Labs, the hair salon. Did I say that right? Echo,
Eco, eco.
Eco Labs. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
be doing weird things sometimes with the Michigan accent. So what do we have? What are you? A better question is, what are you currently excited about that is on the horizon? Whether it's personally, whether it's professionally, what are, or actually, what's one personal thing that you're excited about, and what's one professional thing that you're excited about?
Personal thing, I'd say. Okay, it kind of goes both hand in hand because I feel like personal to me is art. Art is my personal. And the professional is like outside of that. So personally, I'm excited about the AR aspect of my art and t-shirts and learning the skill to be able to do that. And then professionally, I'm excited about school and getting a new degree, and also the hair salon. I'm excited about having more people come into it and getting to know me from that point of view too.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely come check you out on the West Coast at some point. Lord willing, come on,
Yeah,
Jesus, go ahead and send me out there.
let me go.
Go ahead and order these. Facts though,
Funny.
facts. Thank you so much, Tyle, for your time and chopping it up, being the first guest on Culture Shift. We were, we had to
Hey,
get it set up and stuff, and you're on the West Coast too, so I appreciate you, getting up early, especially for this too. And
of course.
thanks everybody who tuned in on the live stream watching. Really appreciate your time,
Thank
energy,
you.
and attention. Yeah, Tayo, any last announcements or anything that you want to share with the fam before we shut it down here?
Thank you to Raven for being a real one and having me on your show. And also, thank you to everybody watching. And also, just keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out. We got great things coming up. That's it. That's all I got to say about it.
Perfect. I love it. Yo, thank you again, everybody who tuned in. This is Culture Shift with Raven50mm and the 50mm Collective with special guest TayoDamnShoes. Be on the lookout for the digital collectible version of this podcast because it's going to be on the blockchain. We're archiving legacy and history here, so definitely be on the lookout for that. It'll be a limited edition series, and you'll be able to collect this. And best believe we're going to be implementing something to where, like, as you collect these over time, you collected like 10 episodes, maybe we'll send you a hoodie or something. I don't know, but we're going to have fun with it.
Hey, I want a hoodie.
Yo, right? Who doesn't want a hoodie? Thanks again for tuning in, y'all. Thank you again, Tayo, for your time and for joining us on this conversation. This has been the Culture Shift with Raven50mm, and we will catch y'all on the next live stream / radio / podcast episode. Peace.
Bye.
Stay blessed. Stay hydrated. Catch you on the next episode. Peace.